So for lexical relationship, it shows the relationship among the words. So there are several types. I believe you have known most of them, like synonym, antonym, hypernym. The third one is the one that you have to look for example. And also there's another one I will tell you. So what is hypernym and hyponym? Hypernym and hyponym are very important. Actually, because you're an advanced learner now. So once I show you the example, you know it. However, um, according to lots of studies, hypernym and hyponyms are the specific word relation that will be learned later by L2 learners because they are more difficult. And I will show you, I will tell you three types and reasons why. And you all know what is polysemy, right? Like bank. I work on the bank and I deposit my money to the bank. Are these two banks different? I walk along the bank. I put my money in the bank. Polysemy. So what does polysemy mean? What is polysemy? With two or more different meanings. And these two are a little bit, if we don't have enough time, I'll skip it. But what is homophone? We can briefly talk about it now. What is homophone? And what is homonym? These two are, again, maybe you don't have enough idea. I don't know whether Sam have discussed that in the linguistic course. So, but for the third one and this one, meronym and metonym, especially this type here, number 3, and this one, you will have to look for example. And you have to write a sentence to show me you know the relationship. So that's what you have to do today. And I will start to show you some. So please don't use the example that I show you. You will try to find out another. So let's jump to this hyponym and hypernym. Hypernym, I will show you the picture later. Hypernym, hyper means the upper level. All right. So rose, flower, flower will be the hypernym, and then rose will be the hyponym. Why is it important, especially for native speaker and also very advanced language learner? Because we are trying to use synonyms or similar expression to express something that might be the same or similar. So I will say, oh, this is rose. But then L2 beginner might say, I don't know what is that. And you will say, oh, rose is a kind of flower. Then it will be simpler for beginners or intermediate to understand what that is. So if you have the ability to master, to command the language by using different kind of hierarchical expression, one is hypernym and another is hyponym, you will make and help the listener understand better. It's not only for the language course. When you are doing the communication, all right? For example, I have to explain to an elderly people about what something is or a financial term. I need to use some simpler term. Or sometimes I have to use a general term. Same thing here. If actually you know what rose is, but someone didn't know what flower is, then you could say, oh, flower. Flower is a more general type. There's something like roses or what else? What kind of flower do you know? Then you can name some. And then the person will get the idea. All of these are flower. All right? So that's why hypernym and hyponym are important. And another thing is, let me show the next. All right, synonym, you all know this. Antonym. Do you know there are gradable antonym and non-gradable? For non-gradable, it's only two. For example, like life and death. Is there a middle? You say dying. Dying is still alive, right? So there's something that's not gradable, and asleep and awake. If you feel asleep, you are still awake. I cannot say you are sleeping. Right. But what is gradable? Hot. So you can see there's a degree of differences. So that's gradable and non-gradable types. Okay. There's exercise, but no time for you to do it. Yeah. Tell me which one is the hypernym and which one is hyponym. Hypernym, hyponym. Which one is hypernym? Read the red sentences first. Tell me which one is the hypernym and which one is hyponym. Agree? Living things, hypernym. Do you agree animal is hypernym? But at the same time, it's hyponym as well. Why? It's hypernym to these terms, but hyponym to these terms. So it's relational. All right? It is relational. It's not really fixed. It's not arbitrary, but flexible. It depends on which level. What's the hierarchy you are putting the words there? Okay. This one is more complicated, but this one is easier. I need you to draw and find example and draw something like this later and then mark it. And then mark it and don't use color, all right? I already used that. Color, red and blue, we call it co-hyponym because they have a hierarchy, a hypernym here is color. So they are the same level. So it's co-hyponym, right? Okay, hypernym, hyponym, hyponym. These are too difficult. I think I'll just skip. Yeah. We discussed this before, right? So polysemy means many meaning because the affix and suffix shows that. Yeah. Okay. So this is polysemy, like a man. Behave like a man. What does man means here? Behave like a real man. Because I'm female, so I couldn't be like a man. Is that man the man? About gender? No. So what it mean? Behave like a man. What does that man mean? A person with guts, brave enough. It doesn't refer to gender. So man can be, it's polysemy. It has different meanings. And do you have to teach this to students or do you have to make your listener understand that? Like for this kind of very common word, the frequency is so high, but it can use for different context. And you have to let them understand. So you have to explain. There's a need to explain. And I'm the head of the house. What does that mean? I'm the head of the house. I'm the head of my family. Or you are the head of your family. What does the head mean? Hmm? Actually, head, this word is strange because it's categorized under polysemy, but also later I ask you to choose to provide another example for the meronym. It's also the same because head is part of our body, but it symbolizes important parts, right? The head. So it does not only categorize under polysemy, but also another type of word sense relation, right? And also food, right? These two. I'll skip this, yeah. But give you an idea. Homo, here, phone, phony means similar voice. if you want to become a teacher in the future, avoid words like this to show your student, because they are not going to learn. They are going to get very, very confused and they won't learn. So avoid them. Yeah. So I will skip this. Tell me what is the ball and what is the chip? Which one is the ball? Which one is the chip? Do you see the ball? How many balls there are? There are two kinds of ball, right? This one and this one, ballroom. And what about chips? Here and here, right? So these are a man in a tuxedo asks, "Where is the ball?" What does the ball mean? Let's go back again. Which one? A man in tuxedo asks, "Where is the ball?" So is it on the right or on the left? The context on the left. So I show you the picture. So later when you post, please find picture and show the relationship. We'll skip. Right, this so I have finished the first type, which is the hypernym and hyponym, which you have to write example and find picture. The second type you have to look for is meronym. He drank the whole bottle. All right, container, contents. Right. Do you think he really drank the bottle or swallow the bottle? No, it means finish the alcohol or liquid in the bottle, right? So that's what that means. The White House announced. What's the White House? How can a house announce? Because the White House symbolizes the president. So it symbolizes the person, either the king or the crown or president. And here is the president of the United States, which I don't like now. Yeah. I gave her a hand. Right. You always say this, right? I give you my hand. Well, cut the hand and give it to you. No, I help you, right? So this is the part to symbolize the whole. So Maryland means you use the part and symbolize the whole. So again, I'm the head of the house, the head of the house, or the head of the family. So Maryland is a relationship between among words, part whole relationship. And next one, better and more clear right here. So an associate feature is to name and design meaning. So a short definition is part for whole. Okay, so like this picture, what does I have four? I have 4 mouths at home to feed. Right. So here, mouse means persons or people. So part whole relationship. I have 10 slides, but I'm going to only show 2 to save you some time. I know the graduation party you wanna. Anyway, there are 3 types of other very famous and popular relationship. The one that I said about hypernym and hyponym is the syntactic, we call syntagmatic relation, which shows the collocation. And there are the second type, which is paradigmatic. All right. No, syntagmatic, it means showing the collocation, and hypernym and hyponym is the second one. It's called paradigmatic. So it's the same part of speech or same word classes. For example, like fruit, flower, they are all nouns. So you can replace and substitute them. And claims, it's affect and effect. Many of my CC1 students and even CC2, they are still making mistakes on this one. So they always try to write effect, but they write effect or vice versa. So there are three types. And for according to different proficiency, could you please guess which one is always committed? Which type of error is committed by beginner? And for the more advanced learner, they will learn this first or this one. Which one? Collocation or paradigmatic? Which one will be learned first by advanced learner? This first or this one? This one is hypernym, hyponym. And this one means sentences. Hypernym and hyponym will be learned first or learned later. Learn, okay. Let me show you another slide. All right, here's a collocation like for the clan, it's about the form. So learners learn it through the appearance. And syntactic relation is about collocation, so it's sentence level. Paradigmatic is part of speech, hyper and hyponym. And the relationship is this. They learn this first, and then second, and the later acquire is paradigmatic. Because not until you become a advanced learner, it's difficult for you to paraphrase. I don't know whether you still remember when you were CC1 or CC2, especially CC1, you try to paraphrase, but it's so difficult for you because you haven't utilized the paradigmatic relation. Okay. So the order of development is they will first commit the clan type of error, and then they will acquire it, and they won't commit the error. They, for example, like right now, I won't make mistakes on affect and effect. If it's like intermediate or less advanced learner, they will be acquiring this syntagmatic one because it's sentence level, and they will be less proficient in using paradigmatic like hyper and hyponym. So if they say, this is a rose, and then say, I don't understand, can you rephrase and paraphrase again? And then the intermediate learner might say, I don't know how to do it, sorry. But if it's advanced one, then they might say, oh, it's a type of flower. Right.